This is Haiti Merritt with Insulin Nation. We're here at the American Association of Diabetes Educators in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're here with Matt Tendler from Telcare. Hi, Matt.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for joining us on 5-Spot.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. Since I'm a diabetic and everything's about me, what can you tell me about your product that would make my life better?
So I have type 1 diabetes myself.
I didn't know that. I should have asked you right off the bat. How long have you had it?
I've had diabetes for about 10 years now.
Nice. And you are a young man, so how long has that been?
I was diagnosed when I was 18.
Okay.
I'm 28 now.
Very nice. Nice long stretch.
Thank you.
All right, so your product, how does it make a diabetic's life better?
So the number one thing that an educator or a doctor is going to ask me before an appointment is for me to actually sit down and write down all of my glucose numbers before I go in for the appointment.
It's a drag.
It is a drag, and much like most of the people that are going to a dentist appointment as well, they're going to floss really hard the day of or the day before. And then they're going to say, "Sure, doc, I've been..."
Have you been in my bathroom? Right.
So the same thing goes along with patients that go into a diabetes into an endocrinologist's office. With this meter, we have taken an old technology, cellular technology, and put it inside of a glucose meter. And what that allows the patient to do is automatically tag each reading, whether it be before breakfast or after activity, to store those readings inside the glucose meter. And then all readings get sent directly up to an online cloud.
Whoa, okay, that's cool.
Sounds more complicated than what it is.
It sounds actually a lot easier than what I do now.
I agree. So from the cloud, a number of things happen. First, I have a free iPhone application where I could see a list of all of my readings. I see a list of any medication that I've taken or any food that I've eaten. Additionally, my educator or my healthcare professional can go online, see a list of all of their patients, and categorize those patients, whether it be someone who isn't testing or someone who's gone extremely hyperglycemic or hypoglycemic, and reach out to those patients directly onto the glucose meter. So we're talking about
oh my God, really?
A 360-degree ecosystem, not only for patients, but to make the lives of educators and for endocrinologists easier.
So really it's win-win-win.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, you obviously target newly diagnosed diabetics, but is there any effort put into attracting people who have had it for a long time or use other people's products?
Sure. So a great example is someone who is just diagnosed with diabetes. It's really a clear meter for that type of person because of the added functionality and added visibility that the patient and the healthcare professional receives. But really, for any patient who is making a switch over from pills to insulin, great product. Any patient who's taking a switch from injections of insulin over to an insulin pump, any patient who's making any kind of change in their treatment decision, this allows the educator to stay on top of that person, to watch out for any changes.
It's kind of like a team. It's like a team on your machine.
Exactly, and you can involve the team as much or as little as you want. The entire portal and the meter is completely HIPAA compliant, so the patient is in control. If I want to share it with my family members, that's great, but I don't have to. If I want to share it with my endocrinologist or educator, I don't have to unless I want to.
That's a great option. Now, let's see, hold on. I've got to read this, but I was just thinking of something else. Okay, when closed loop therapy becomes available, is that something that your company will be able to adapt to, or will it become obsolete?
There are a number of features within the ecosystem that is really going to contribute to the entire closed loop system. The number one being that patients will still be required in many circumstances to calibrate their machines, much like they do with continuous glucose monitoring systems as well. The ability to calibrate their machines and have that data synchronized directly into the cloud is going to help tremendously in making sure that the machines are working as well as the actual numbers are appearing within the blood.
That's cool.
The second aspect is the ecosystem of the cloud. It's our strong belief that all of these numbers whether they be insulin, whether they be blood glucose readings, and how those numbers correlate, we belong in the cloud. It will help not only research, but it will help patients and doctors and family members communicate in a better fashion.
That's fantastic. That's a very cool product. Now, what are you most excited about on the horizon of technology for diabetics?
What we're beginning to focus more about is the behavior change and teaching patients about how to better manage their diabetes. It's one thing to show a patient their numbers, but in reality, patients know that their numbers are high. If they're high, they know if they're in range, if they're in range. What we need to work on as a sector in whole is really showing the patient what changes are occurring and why they're occurring and how they can improve themselves. And using cloud technology, we can analyze this data more effectively and actually create rules within the cloud to communicate back to the patients. And that's part of the ecosystem that we're talking about.
That's fantastic. Now, how long have you been with the company?
I've been with the companies for about 2.5 years, and our product was FDA cleared last July.
That's a huge hurdle. That's awesome. Well, congratulations, and thanks again for doing the 5-spot.
Thank you for having me.